Good day, guys. Today we will be doing a little bit of something different. Instead of doing a let's play or a review of something, I decided that it would be best in this case to do just a little demonstration of a game that I've been recently playing. I'm not all the way through it yet, but I'm very close. And it's been taking up a lot of my time, and it's not one of those games you can really let's play because it's a very free-roaming, open kind of game. It is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, and it is really, really fun. So what I'm going to do today is take you through, gonna do a little bit of a demonstration of it, show you some of the features and what's going on, and you know, give you a look at it if you're on the fence about it, if you'd like to get it, or if you'd just like to see some gameplay of me playing it. That's what we'll do. So here's the plan we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking down a Warchief, and I'll be showing you the process on how to do that, as well as what it will involve and to get the most out of it. Now, I have discovered the identity of 4 of the 5 Warchiefs. I saved the final one to be for last so that I could do a video on, you know, the whole process of it, so you guys could watch it and understand and enjoy. You know, I'm assuming most people who have watched this do understand or have seen the Nemesis system at work. If you haven't, well, this will be interesting. You'll get to see how it's done. So we are going to be going after this unknown Warchief right here. He is our target, but we don't know where he is. We just know he is in this land somewhere. And I am in the second area of the game. I'm no longer in Undun. I'm deeper into Mordor where there's still life. Now, in order to find out the identity of this Warchief, we either need to interrogate a worm or a captain. And because I prefer to go for the throat, we're going to interrogate a captain at a power struggle. Now, you can find captains all throughout the game in strongholds and such. They'll be there. But the only way to assuredly 100% come in contact with a captain in Sauron's army is to take on a power struggle mission, which is basically an assassination opportunity for you to deal with a captain. So right now what you see there, that is a trial by ordeal. Now, this means that this captain was originally sentenced perhaps to death or some such and he, in order to escape this case, he must fight a category or some such. And now this totally means he could make it through perfectly fine and will indeed grow more powerful as doing so. But there's also a chance he'll die. So basically trial by ordeal. If he beats the category, he's innocent. If he dies, well, it doesn't really matter. So this guy, it is we don't know his weaknesses or strengths, but we're going to play that into when we fight the Warchiefs. I'll show you how that works. But right now, we're going to attend his trial and see how it goes.
Open the cage! I need a good fight! Right now!
Now, what we could do in this case is go over there and interfere in the trial. Oh, wow. That was really quick. He one-hit killed that category, basically. So what happened as a result, if we'll look at the battle report here, he survived the trial, and his power has increased now. Now that's good for us. I wanted to let that happen because the more powerful your enemy is, the better chance they will drop a good rune for you. Now we are going to mark him as our target because there's going to be something else we're going to be doing as a result. So now he's all bragging it up and stuff. Now, different captains and warchiefs and such are resistant to different things, but generally stealth is a good option. Some are weak to it, so they'll die effectively in one hit. But either way, this will be a good way to start. Stealth in this game is a really viable option because these enemies are kind of boneheaded and will allow you to really take advantage of how foolish they are. This guy doesn't even know we're coming, so this will be a good start. Ah.
I think not. Ranger!
See? Now.
Don't know about you boys, but I'm shaking in me boots.
That's a thing I love about when you fight captains. It creates a unique encounter for you when you first fight them by having them, you know, taunt you when they draw blades with you. It just adds another sort of feeling of immersion into this. Now, I do have most of the abilities in the game, so that's why I was able to deal with them relatively quickly. His health meter there is green, which means he is vulnerable to be grabbed and interrogated, which is what we're about to do. Now, I could either death threat a later captain, gain intel, or kill him. We're going to gain intel, and we're going to find out because he's a captain. Now, any of these captains could have told us, but fortune held that we went after this guy right here. Now, we're going to ask him, well, demand information from him by dominating his mind and finding out the identity of this war chief. Alright, now, this is Arkham the Kinslayer. Here we have his weaknesses and strengths, and this is how we'd be best to approach a combat with him. He can be damaged by explosions and injured by combat finishers. So that's a good idea to help us plan our strategy on how we're going to deal with him. He hates ghouls, and so it becomes pissed off and even more deadly when he sees them. We can't use stealth on him, so sneaking up on him or doing a jumping attack won't work. Ranged is no good either, so arrows, forget about it. Now we have his special abilities, which makes him a very difficult one here. He can drop a cloud of poison if he wants to throw us off and poison us, obviously. His weapon is a blaze, which means he'll be a tougher fight. He's harder to kill and may need a finisher, so he may not just die like normal. He's very deadly. His attacks are more so than what any other Uruk can do. And he can grapple and swing you around and throw you into a whole crowd of other Uruks and get you really fucked. Now, he is not the most powerful war chief currently. He has a power of 16 and 2 bodyguards. We're going to do something about that. See, now this here is a rune. These runes are all color-coded. White are, fairly common. Blue are a little less common, but still not great. The gold ones, the epic ones, are the best ones. So now, if you're wondering what this alternate form is that I go into here, this is Celebrimbor. He's the wraith inside of you. It's what allows the game's logic to make sense in the regards that when you die, you keep coming back and respawning at those towers because those are tied to his destiny as the wraith. That's why you can survive taking fall damage and other such stealthy things. This is the wraith world right now we're looking in from. So that's why we're able to see those enemies and other such in regards to much like the eagle vision from Assassin's Creed. Now, we're lucky because there's another captain right there. See, we have the different war chiefs. He has a power 14, 20, 16, 16, 16. Now, I would like to take the one that's 20 on, but he is also locked to a mission, I believe. So, but we are going to do, as we can see though, yeah, we can also help ourselves here to make him more powerful. I like this guy. He seems like he's going to be a hard fight. This guy, I don't even know. He's got like a major fire fetish. This guy right here, we can take him out. And he's very close to us. And how do we enrage him and, have him discover and come out that we want him? Different war chiefs have different requirements. Sometimes you have to be lured into a trap that that they've set, but you gotta do it anyways. Sometimes you gotta explode grog barrels. Sometimes you gotta kill his supporters. In this case, we just gotta kill a lot of people in his stronghold. Now, what we're going to do to make him more powerful, and thus provide a more thrilling fight, as well as make the payout bigger, is send a death threat to him. It just so happens that there's a captain right here. And we can use this captain to send a death threat to our friend the War Chief. So let's go about this. Now once again, we can try and use stealth, or we could attempt to use ranged. But it appears that stealth may be the best at this point. We'll see. Identifying in Wraith World. His bodyguards are sort of stupid, so if you can get behind them and sneak up on this guy, you can pretty much just, kick ass. But I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of combat involved. But that's okay, because this combat system in this game is very good. It feels a lot like Assassin's Creed meets Arkham. So if you like either of those games, this is for you. The Deus Ex style of gameplay, which typically you would use that more when in regards to a first-person shooter. But you could also say that in third person, because it's pretty much, I use that term lightly to sort of say the open-ended nature that allows you to make your own decisions. Now see, us doing that doesn't mean he was resistant to stealth, but it also doesn't mean he was weak to it. It wouldn't work as a one-hit kill. So we're going to engage him again. And this time he's actually going to want to fight us.
I'm no grunt. Ranger! You found yourself an old dung heap of trouble, you little schrock.
Now, we're not going to engage him right away because he has a lot of his supporters here, which will make the interrogation part very difficult because we need time for the animation to play out when we do that. So if we don't fight his supporters first, it's not going to go well if we try and interrogate him later. Now, the ability I'm using here is the Wraith Stun, or Wraith Flash. Well, no, the Wraith Flash is something different. That's a move we could pull off because we have our hit streak charged. What we are using here is the Wraith Stun ability, which can be used either frontwards or backwards, depending on how you approach your enemy. It's useful when you're frontwards if you need to kill a front-standing enemy and you need to stun them and go to work like that, and then your Wraith will build up a combo alongside you. But when you want to jump behind them, that also works, which is what we did there. Now, those rather quick kills you saw there were executions, and they play out very well against most enemies. Now, we're going to use the interrogate function. And instead, we're going to send a death threat. We're going to place this death threat with Ukram Kinslayer. And he's going to know that we're coming for him and become more powerful and acquire a more powerful gang, which will make things a little more interesting. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now he knows we're coming for him. His motive changes from, you know, whatever it was before, to something specific, to this. Bragging to the other Uruks that Talion personally wants him killed. So it changes that and it becomes aware. His abilities remain the same, but still, he becomes a more powerful enemy because his power level's at 20 now. Now that captain that we just sent off, he lived, which means he'll come back and try and fight us another day, which means he may become a nemesis. Necromancer Sauron and the rest of his army are able to just keep on coming back. Well, no. Sauron's a necromancer, as well as everyone else's, his higher generals in his army. So that's why they're able to keep bringing back men. That's why if you chop off someone's head, it's foreseeable that they could come back. So, now we're going to go and track here and see we've marked the target on the map. So we're going to make our way along to where it is. We're going to avoid that Category or possibly Graug that's in there because we don't want any trouble. We could ride the Category if we wanted to. We'll show that a little bit later after we finish off the Warchief. Now what you noticed there when I was saying about the executions, when my sword was glowing blue, that was what allowed me to do an execution move, which was effectively an instant kill, which basically does a really badass sort of animation where you just totally wreck your opponent's shit. Now, I have the ability to pull off 2 of those at once, which is really useful in combat. Once I build those up, you can see down next to my arrow count, which is that 14 over there, you see that sword with the indicator next to it? That's my sword's legendary ability, which allows me for a brief amount of time to pull off an infinite number of executions, which really helps in a clusterfuck. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to show you one of my favorite mechanics of the game. Using these arrows, the elf shots that you have, you can explode bonfires and grog containers for massive damage around. So these guys don't even know I'm here, and they won't, but it's cool to do this. Get a load of this. Just to cause trouble. And plus that builds your hit streak counter, which, as a result, will allow those executions to become unlocked. So if you need to do that in a pinch and get more power in a short amount of time, that's a good way to do it. Now, typically, it would take 8 to get up to that hit streak you need, but I have the ability to lower it down to 5, which also unlocks Wraith Flash and Combat Drain. Wraith Flash disorients your enemies and stuns them and kills them instantly if they're ghouls. Combat Drain gives you back your Elf Shot and other abilities, as well as Focus. I much prefer the Execution ability because it gets right to the point. The other ability you saw there, that was the Elven Swiftness ability that I have. Now, we're going to go up here. Ensure he is marked. We kind of went in the wrong direction. That's my bad. Alright, we did go in way wrong direction. And that's where we'll find it. And you know what? This is a perfect opportunity to show how you ride a Category, because that's another feature that this game has, which I think is great. So we're going to help him out a little bit. Actually, no. Just let it happen. So what I'm going to do, to avoid a little screwing around, I'm going to hop above where it is and hop on it. Now we do the threading the eye of the needle idea. We get the right button prompt, dominate the category, and now it's ours. It's a way faster way to traverse throughout the world, as well as it just totally makes you kick everyone's ass, because no one wants to fuck with the category. Then it can bite people while they're down, too, as you'll see. As if it wasn't enough to kill Uruks as you do already. This is an even more effective way to do it. Biting the Uruks while they're down gives you health back. So it's a win-win situation. And now we see off in the distance there is the stronghold, which we'll be invading in order to draw out the Warchief. Now, some missions do require stealth. In this case, we just gotta be full-out violent to draw out the Warchief. We have to rampage through the sanctuary. But there's still a few things we can do for fun, which we will, of course. So now, this is the mission in which we will be fighting the Warchief. Bloodbath. Let's do it. All we have to do to draw him out is rampage through the stronghold, and it'll give us 70 power points. But we're going to have to fight him. He's a legendary Warchief, and he will not be a pushover.
Kill the herd, and the bull will charge.
Alright, we got to kill 20 Uruk in 2 minutes. Now I'm going to show you my favorite ability here, Shadow Strike Kill. Yeah, you just saw that. When you get up close, when you use a ranged attack on someone and press the Shadow Strike button, it'll basically just immediately allow you to teleport to their position and kill them, which is really useful if you need to get around to places fast. Alright. We've alerted everyone to our presence, and now that we gotta work on killing as many Uruks at once as we can. This is difficult, because it's timed on how much you can kill people. And now typically if we were invading, we would let that guy go on, we would want to stop that guy from sounding the alarm. But in this case we want to draw out as many Uruks as possible so that we can manage to kill 20 in 2 minutes. So we'll let him go and do it, but we'll also keep going around kicking as much ass as humanly possible. More people dead the better, because we want to draw this Warchief out. And there's no way to draw him out unless we kill enough people to do it. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So we just keep it up as much as we can. But obviously there's no saying. We may have to try this again if we don't manage to kill enough Uruks, but we should be fine. We're moving at a very steady pace. We're about halfway there, and the timer is at a decent level, so there's nothing to worry about. See, these execution moves are really useful, and they get built up when you do the Wraith attack combo like that, because the more hits you land, the better off you are. Now he's bringing the people out, so now things will get a little more violent, and thus we'll be able to, hopefully, be able to finish off more Uruks in the time we need. We're a little bit behind. This part is slightly annoying that you have to do that, but it could be worse. It could be telling you to kill some other ungodly amount in a shorter amount of time, but I say it's pretty fair as far as it goes, if we can manage to kill them all. I would like to for the sake of appearances in this video, but who knows. Shit happens. We're moving as fast as we can. We probably won't, but you'll see the idea of it. Alright, we need to kill 3 more. Can we pull it off in the amount of time we've got? I hope so. We'll do our best. Alright, 2 more. I think we got this. We have 2 executions stored, so if we can pull off 1 more, we'll be set. Alright. And there we go. Just barely. Oh! Alright. We didn't get it. But we'll do it again. Because now we spent a little too much time on the fortress exterior instead of getting into it and pissing everybody off. So that does happen, but that's the nature of the beast, you know? And you know what, guys? I have the bad feeling I'm actually starting to get sick right now. My throat's giving me that sign that I may be. My nose has been a little bit stuffy for the past 2 days, so this may be the last you'll see of me for a little bit before I start feeling better. Oh boy. But don't worry, we're gonna complete this our little fun time here. Now the timer does not start until we attack someone, so I should have thought of that beforehand and, you know, wedged my way into the fortress first. Hello! That would have been a lot more smart, but I wanted to show you that Shadow Strike thing first. So we're going to try a different approach now, just piss everybody off. Now he's going to go light the beacon, which is a good sign for us, because the way the beacon sounded, the more Uruks will be able to fight. So now we're gonna go to town and have a good time with it. Alright, with the beacon lit, now we'll have a better chance of getting enough Uruks in one space for us to kick all of their asses. The combat system feels really good. Again, if you've played Assassin's Creed and you've played Arkham, you have an idea of what you're in for. It's one of those things that, you know, will take you a few minutes to get used to, but once you do, you'll feel right at home with other games you've played. So there's nothing to worry about. It looks a little complex, but you needn't worry. It's very easy for anyone who's played any of those games in the past. And it's very satisfying because it's smooth like butter, just like the Arkham games. So you'll have a great time with this. The free flow combat is wonderful. And the best part that I think is the ability to counter at any time. So you saw there when I was in the animation taking the guy out on the ground, a guy was going to attack me from behind. I didn't have to wait for my animation to complete. I was able to go and ready my counter in the middle of my animation, which means, you know, you're not locked into the things you do, which is really beneficial. Because as a result, it allows you to save your skin and build a higher combo. With free control of the camera as well, it makes the battles a lot more cinematic and interesting, which I like quite a bit. And if you're at a higher hit combo like I was there, it does allow you to shatter your enemy's shield, which is really cool. Because in the case of a shield bearer like that, you'd be better off coming behind them like I did with the Wraith stun attacks and building up a mad combo. We've killed enough enemies, so now the Warchief is here. Now he's gilded by 2 of his captains, which means it's going to be a bit of a difficult fight. Now this game does behoove you to make great use of that Elven Swiftness ability by taking a small jump to get a higher boost. Now, all those executions... Take a moment.
Promise make me beg. Never beg. Never surrender.
Now all those executions have built up our sword's legendary ability, which we are about to use. It's what allows us to do basically a near infinite amount of executions over and over and over. Well, it is infinite, but it all depends on how long it lasts. Now, because we do have that ability, it is very overpowered, and we were able to kill that Warchief very quickly. Now, the rest of his posse is also going to be here. Now, since he's gone, another Warchief will take his place. But he still won't be as powerful as that former one was unless time passes. So now, it behooves us to go after the captains, which is what we'll be doing. Now, I'm going to go after this one over here, because he has a cooler icon. I'm not sure why, but this is a great opportunity to knock off some captains as well, all in one place. So I recommend that you do it, instead of running and going away. Now, you won't be able to do them all at once, but you know, because some will eventually run away. But it is recommended that you do this while you can, as they'll save you a fair amount of time. Now, this guy is still running. It's amazing. I don't know how, but we'll engage him. We'll see how he feels about us kicking his ass after you utterly annihilated his master. Alright. Now, since we are in the middle of a fortress, there will be a lot of more enemies trying to fight us. But, oh, he's made a bad mistake. Yet he still runs. Let's make sure he stops forever.
Kill me if you must, but you can't beat us. Uruks are taking over, see? We're the new kings.
Nice try. Oh yeah, and that guy was a temporary Warchief. But even then we were able to take him down. Because lower ranks start getting promoted to Warchiefs as the necessity comes. So we just take them out as they come. And this was a rune. Now we're gonna go back to that other to the Warchief we originally killed to pick up the rune he dropped. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright, asshole. Now we're gonna go back and pick up the other one, and then I'm going to show you a more stealthy approach to going around in this game, so you can get an idea of how things are done. This was a very straight combat approach, which is certainly great, but stealth is also very rewarding in this game if you know how to play it. I'll just show you a few of the abilities, get you an idea. We're not going to stealth the mission. Well, we could stealth a mission. Well, stealth one of the regular captain missions, just so you can see the more idea of it. See, now we have our runes. Now we can get the hell out of here, which behooves us since the entire fortress is going to want to destroy us by now. Now, they're all on my ass, so what can I do? This'll help. These guys hate the more guy flies, so that creates an effective barrier. But more keep coming? Not anymore. And just for good measure, let's bring in a flock of categories to come and kick their asses. Those hanging bits of meat attract the categories, and that's exactly what we want to cover our tracks. Free another category, and just run like hell because it's about to blow up like crazy over there. The Urdex will be in complete disarray, giving us the complete safety to get out. Congratulations, we've successfully made it. But we can't resist starting a little more trouble, can we? Of course not. Now the slaves somehow survived, but all the Urdex died. So that's how it goes. So now, we'll just show you a little bit of a demonstration on how the stealth system of the game works. Now, I don't know where my character's position... Oh, here it is. Alright, you know what? We'll go and take on another war chief. Why don't we? But this time, to get there, I'll be a little more stealthy. I think it'd be a better idea to do that. We're going to clear out the general area before undertaking the mission, so you can get an idea of the stealth of the game. But I feel that another war chief mission won't hurt. But we also are going to send a death threat to him beforehand. Better combat. Now the war chief was very easy as a result of my, the skills that I've given my character. Because I'm very high level and I'm rather OP. So that's just sort of what happens. If you weren't as high level and OP as I was, you wouldn't be as able to do that. Now I'm not sure which war chief that is that's there. Let's see here. It's this guy. Now we can't death threat him, I forgot, because this is a normal worm. We can't death threat him. So we're actually going to go back, and we're just going to kill this guy. I could use him to gain intel on other captains, but I don't feel like it. So if we were to find a captain, we could death threat that war chief. As you saw. Worms, which are the green icons on your map, can give intel. But if you want to be able to death threat or intel, you'd want a captain. Now, to get to that mission icon, we're going to have to go through a fortress. And we're going to go through it a little more stealthy-like. You'll see. Now, as much as we'd like to blow up that fire, it would create a lot of noise. So we're just going to deal with this nice and quiet. Sweet. Now, the best idea to use from here is to use your Wraith World ability to see who is around and where they are. This is useful for when you have archers hiding around that you're going to need to take out. Because archers can be your worst nightmare if you're a stealth player. But for right now, we're alright. There are some over there, but they can be dealt with. Now, there's a lot of Urdex down there, and we can engage them a little bit later. The archers are the first thing we need to take care of, though. Now, from what I can see, there's one over there. Now, we could take him out like normal, working our way over there. Or we could use, once again, my favorite ability, the Shadow Strike, which is exactly what we'll do. You ready for that? Wonderful. So, jump across the fortress, take this guy out. It does take up some of our elf shot, but it is a useful thing. Now, up here, as we can see, if I didn't have this flag in the way, there's a fair number. Well, no, there's a small number of Urdex down here. Oh, look. It's our war chief. Huh. Go figure, we don't even need the mission for it. That works. Alright. Let's go and engage him right away. I was going to show a little more stealthiness, but fuck this guy. Oh, shit.
Ranger! Today I laid twice as many lads as yesterday. You are no match for an Uruk of my standing.
See, that's the thing. You could try and take an opportunity like that, but chances are you're going to regret it because you don't know everything about the guy who you're facing. And so in that case, like I tried stealth, he totally handed my ass to me when I tried to stealth him. Sometimes these guys are battle-hardened and, you know, have a mastery of combat and can't be killed by these executions or jump-over moves. This guy was. Now, please don't think that the game is this terribly easy. It is easy if you choose to learn it and spend enough time grinding with it to upgrade your abilities. Granted, it does take a long while to get as strong as I've made my character out to be, and that's why I'm able to utterly decimate these war chiefs. Alright, so we're going to use that Shadow Strike one more time just because it's so amazing. Oh, wait, we can't. He's aware of us. Alright. We're just going to end his miserable career right here. Actually, you know, I'll show you a fire arrow ability first. Charge our hit streak. And then, just to make things a little more interesting, I did kill him with the fire arrow, but I also shot the bonfire with a fire arrow, which does make the bonfire explode bigger and have more damage. So, now we can watch here as these guys are totally getting wrecked by category after they ran from us. And if he survives, I'll show you another mechanic that really works well for the stealth. I doubt they both will survive, but we'll see. Alright, that one's dead, and this guy's chances are pretty nil. But we don't need him, because there is another guy right here. Alright, he's dead anyways. As long as the category doesn't come over there. There's the attract mechanic, which we'll use here if we can. Oh shit, you little asshole. Now we won't be able to use attract on him, but we do get to use another awesome move, which is the jumping, diving stealth kill, which, as seen here, is wonderfully effective. And the thing is, depending on the moves you use the most, whether it's a ledge kill or a jumping kill, the Uruks in their conversations will talk about, you know, oh, I hear the ranger jumps on us from above or grabs us from below. You know, they reflect what you do. So now we're going to use the attract mechanic. It allows for stealthier kills when there's a group around and you need to separate them. In this case, I don't care because they're fairly spread out, but it is nice regardless. Oh yeah, right, like you think I'm not going to do anything. Alright, now they saw us. Well, me. You guys weren't seen, you're just kind of watching. Now the Uruks are kind of stupid and they're not going to know we're here, and if we stay here long enough, they'll kind of forget I ever existed, because they, more often than not, can't climb, and that's kind of how it goes. But that's fine for us, because I get to display one or two more mechanics. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting sick, guys. My throat's hurting. Shit. Man. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use attract and then brutalize. You'll see here. The attract sort of gave a hint to my position. That'll make him come a little closer over here so I can get him in my sights. And we're going to do a jump kill, but a little less typical. Brutalize is a more violent one, and will scare the orcs away. For the most part. Some will still come and fight. That also builds up our hit counter so that we can pull off an execution right away. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think that's fair enough for a short demonstration on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Give you a little brief idea of some of the many, many features available in this game, because there is too much to just do in one video. I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of what's on offer. So, I think I have a good way to end this. Oh, by the way, there's many other things going on in this game, as well as you can place certain runes inside of your weapons, inside of your sword, bow, and dagger. You just gotta purchase them with the money you get in-game. Some are unlocked like normal. The only one I have fully runed up is my sword, but they give them special abilities, as you see here. You know, my combat finishers do extra damage, my sword does more damage. My execution thing, the Storm of Urfael, which lets me pull off as many executions as I can, has 10 seconds longer. When I'm down and I thread the Eye of the Needle, I can recover all my focus and Elf Shot, which is very useful. And then all my focus comes back when my hit streak is charged. Basically, when I'm able to pull off an execution, my focus comes back. And focus is the slow motion that we have during the Elf Shot. So the runes work as wonderful modifiers. He upgrades. This is the large ability tree. Not massive compared to some games, but it's fairly large. Attributes, you know, it all depends on how you'd like to play, and these are just your stats. So, I'm going to finish off here with just a little bit of fun. This guy's asking for it, wherever he is. So we're going to show it to him. You know what's coming, don't you? Now we drained him. We got our focus back. He's disoriented. This is Mordor. You didn't think I was going to make that reference, did you? Fucker. Alright, guys. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Peace.